Welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles, and we're happy to have you with us on the program tonight. Why wasn't I on last night? Somebody has asked me that today. Well, it was, we did election returns last night, and the way we did it, it required a whole lot of technical preparation, a bunch of scads, you might say, of technical preparation. And all that technical preparation in Martinsville was taking place while I normally would be on the air. And what it comes down to is we couldn't do both. Couldn't get technically prepared for election returns and also get my show on the air. So in a case when there's conflict, the obvious thing to do is dump me. I mean, it would go without saying. I'm the first thing you dump. So that's what happened last night, and that's why I wasn't on last night. But I am, as you may notice, on tonight. Phone line is open. The number is up there for you to call. Is somebody standing by? Hello, caller?
Yeah, is this Ken?
It is. And you've been waiting a while. I appreciate that, but you're on the air now.
Yeah, this is Mark from Medan.
Hey, Mark.
I just wanted to I wanted to get you to put me down for number 12, Blaney, for the race.
All right, let me get my hand untangled from the wires it's tangled in. Mark from Mayadan has the 12. Dave, not Dave, Ryan Blaney for Phoenix. It's in the book.
Yeah. And don't forget to tell Charles when Danville tonight's the Masked Singer night, ain't it?
Yeah, 8 o'clock on your local Fox affiliate.
Yeah, I think he said it's supposed to be Ozfest night tonight. I think it's going to be Ozzy Osbourne stuff or something tonight.
It is. They're going to do all Ozzy Osbourne stuff tonight. I wonder if somebody will do War Pigs. I'm not sure how they would fit that in.
They might.
Well, we'll see.
How do you think the election went?
How do I think it went?
Yeah.
I think there was good turnout. Better than average turnout for a primary, and that's good. And we got one real interesting one that's not over yet. So that'll keep our attention for a while. As far as I can tell, it went pretty well.
Yeah, what was the second highest turnout in the voter thing? You said this was a record, wasn't it?
The second highest turnout in the voter thing. I'm not sure what we're talking about here.
You said we had record-breaking turnout, right?
Oh, I don't think it was record-breaking. I said it was higher turnout than we normally have in a primary. I don't think it was record-breaking, though.
Oh, okay. I thought you said record. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
All right. Thanks, Ken.
Well, thank you, Mark. Good to hear from you. And Mark has the 12. Dave, I did it again. The 12, Ryan Blaney. Dave retired. Ryan Blaney for Phoenix. Somebody pointed out to me that the other night I was reading the standings and I never got all the way through the standings. And I guess that's true. I will, though, get all the way through the point standings at some point tonight. Perhaps now I'll do. In fact, well, not now. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing tonight, Kent?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. That team that Denny Hamlin and guys for what's the name of that team?
You mean the 2311 Hamlin and Michael Jordan? It's 2311.
Well, don't you think you ought to put the 45 number on that thing too?
Well, the 45 may own the team the way it's going now. Well, obviously, it's Michael Jordan's number 23, and it's Denny Hamlin's number 11, and they put one in Roman numerals. I don't know why they did that. But yeah, when another 5 or 6 races in a row, they'll have to put a 45 on there somewhere.
I mean, if you win the first 3 races of a season that nobody's ever done, I mean, that's quite an accomplishment. I just wondering about that. Put me down for I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead. Put you down for who?
Bubba, number 23.
Okay, for Phoenix, Mr. Pelham has Bubba Wallace, number 23. It's in the book.
Thank you, sir. Did
Okay.
the race for Sam Page surprise you? The way it turned out?
Yes and no. How's that for an answer? I mean, I
That'll work.
expected it to be close, so that didn't surprise me. I didn't expect the final margin to be 2 votes, so that did surprise me. Of course, that's not the final margin yet. They still got provisional ballots that may be counted. They have overseas ballots that'll still have to be counted. So by the time they do all that, the margin may no longer be 2 votes. Maybe it'll be 1 vote after they've done all that, or maybe it'll be tied. We don't know. But we know it's still going to be real close. So I wasn't surprised that it was close. I guess I will say something that did surprise me. I was surprised that Berger ran so poorly in Rockingham County. He only got about 33% of the vote in Rockingham County. I didn't necessarily expect that.
Well, I didn't expect it was going to turn out the way it turned out either, Ken. But I thought it would be just the opposite. I thought, Berger would have got more votes here than he did, but evidently he didn't. But did you hear where Phil Berger got caught on a hot mic today?
No, I missed today's hot mic news. What was that?
I heard he was overheard talking to the Board of Elections, and he told them that they need to find 11,780 votes. You think that'll help him any?
Well, that's kind of greedy. If I was going to ask him to find votes, I'd play it straight. I'd just ask for 3. That's all he needs. But I'll tell you, if they find 11,000 uncounted, if they come up with 11,000 uncounted votes, somebody needs to ask some questions.
No doubt. But, he was endorsed by Trump. That was kind of just a spinoff from that. But anyway, it was. But, that election really shocked me. It really did, Ken. Had I been a betting man, I'd have voted just the opposite would have happened. But, it could still go either way. We both know that. But,
well, there's a lot to be done now. First, they have to do the canvass, and then after they've done the canvass, then within 2 business days after the canvass is complete, any candidate that wants a recount, and I expect one will, has to request the recount by the end of the 2nd business day after the canvass. So we can expect all that to happen. Don't know exactly what days it'll happen. It depends on when they finish the canvass.
Exactly. Yeah. Ken, the neighborhood I live in down here is about as ruby red as you can get. I mean, it's myself and maybe a couple of other independents in the neighborhood. But I hear a lot of people say, well, Trump really did the right thing by stopping Iran from getting a nuclear weapon and, devastating the world, basically. I mean, that's my opinion, where Hicks says, and everybody was saying, well, we got to stop him. We got to stop him. I've seen Netanyahu on TV since 2015 saying that Iran was going to get a nuclear weapon every year until now. And we wouldn't no more than a threat of being hit by a nuclear weapon than winning the lottery. It just don't happen. And another thing that irritates me, Ken, is, I was a veteran. I've seen combat. But you got a lot of these people out there say, yeah, we need to do this. We need to, stop this terrorism, worldwide stuff. But if you've never been in a war combat situation, you don't really know what you're asking for. I mean, if you live in a jungle for 12 months, most horrific conditions a person could never put themselves in, and just, have a war of choice like this one is, in my opinion, it's something wrong with that person, Ken. A lot of people have been in the military, but until they've actually seen real combat and seen the suffering and pain of the people that you're actually killing that you don't even know, you need to rethink that one.
what is the standard as you see it? What is and what is not worth going to war over?
I think if this country is attacked, allies are attacked, yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. That's what NATO is all about. But this situation where somebody might get a nuclear weapon, I've been hearing that for 20 years almost. I mean, there's a lot of bad guys on the earth, but yeah, we're a powerful country. But just because you can invade another country or take out their leaders and their support leaders, I mean, you kill them before you even know what they want to do, even giving them a chance. 2 times in a row, we negotiated with Iran. Both times we bombed them during the negotiations. Now, what does that say?
It says that we don't trust them in negotiation, I guess is what it says.
Yeah, well, it does, but I mean, every war we fought, we hadn't won a war since World War II. None of them. And if you look at this situation, just like Vietnam, some people say Vietnam, some people say Vietnam. Some people used to say Iraq, some people used to say Iraq. Well, look at Iran. I guess it can be called Iran too. And how did any of those wars work out for us?
Well, obviously Vietnam didn't work out very well for us. Iraq, I guess depends on who you ask. A lot of people would say the Iraq War ultimately worked out well for us. Not everybody would agree with that. It's going to be a matter of opinion. But I guess what it comes down to, in the case of Iran, here's what it comes down to. Do you or do you not believe that Iran wants to develop a nuclear weapon and that they eventually will have the wherewithal to do it, and that they would then use that nuclear weapon by giving it to terrorists or attacking a neighbor? First, do you think Iran will get a nuclear weapon? If they do, what do you think they would do with it?
Well, the way I see it, if you put boots on the ground and have inspections like Barack Obama had, at the end of that situation, Trump comes in, tears it up. Then last week, they offered him a better deal than he had with Obama. I mean, what's a country supposed to do? If you're supposed to trust them, but you got to verify it too, Kim. If you got boots on the ground inspecting things like they need to be done, I don't see a problem with it.
But we don't. We don't have that, and we can, of course,
whose fault is that?
We can talk a long time about why we don't have that, but we don't have it. If we had an inspection regime that was robust and that we knew that we could count on, that would be the obvious solution to all of this. But since we don't, and it doesn't appear that we're likely to have that anytime soon.
Okay, I'll close with this, Ken, but the Iraq war that we had, was it not started by rumors of having weapons of mass destruction, and after it was over with, was there any ever found?
No weapons of mass destruction.
I don't see any difference between this and the Iraq war, Ken.
Well, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Early Bird. How are you?
All right. I'm just, I got to pick me a driver.
Oh, that's right. You haven't picked one yet. Hang on.
No, I ain't picked one yet. And I don't like to talk politics or nothing like that because, I mean, I just don't, I just got to, I don't know. I'm just different from everybody else.
Well, no, you're not different
but I'd
from
rather
me.
for the war, I'd rather for the war to be over there and then be over here. And plus them Irans or whatever. I know there's good ones and there's bad, but that's just like in the United States. There's good and bad and everybody.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And but I'd rather have the war over there than over here. And plus, they teach them in school to hate Americans. Some of certain ones.
Certain ones do.
I ain't saying all of them's like that, but like I said, I'd rather have the war over there than have it over here. Eventually, maybe one day, we'll probably be dead and gone. They might have one over here. because I wouldn't trust him with a nuclear bomb, with a nuclear weapon.
Well, I don't
Or
trust
hit one of
anybody. I really
No,
don't
I
trust
don't
anybody
either.
with a nuclear weapon, and certainly not the
Yeah.
Iranians.
No, sirree, no, sir. And that's all I got to say about that. But anyway, I ain't trying to put anybody down that talks about it and saying this and that. But
We
I just
understand.
feel like I'd rather for it to be over there than be over here.
And who do you want for Phoenix?
Give me a rundown, will you? Who took what?
Well, don't have many yet. Here's what we have. Leon has the 11, Charles the 45, Nature Boy and Wild Turkey 101 have the 5, Mark has the 12, Mr. Pelham has the 23. So that's what we got so far.
Well, I guess I'm going to go with Danny Hamlin.
11, Early Bird has
No,
the
wait a
11.
minute, kid. Let me
Whoops.
take that back, kid. Not Danny Hamlin. I'm going to take Joey Logano.
Okay, we'll double Denny Hamlin's 11 and make it a 22. Early Bird has Logano for Phoenix.
Yeah. You been doing all right, kid?
Doing okay. Did election returns last night, so I talked a whole lot last night. A little bit hoarse from that, but that's not a big problem.
Well, I need my butt kicked for the vote, but I just didn't do it. I don't know why. And a buddy of mine, he was gonna go too, and but somebody just called me a while ago and said if we all three would have went over, he'd been. But it ain't over yet. They ain't done all the counting yet.
No,
Burger's still winning.
They still have to count the provisional ballots that were not allowed yesterday. Some of those are going to get counted. And ballots from service members overseas
Right,
ballots,
thank you. That's
they
right,
haven't been counted yet either. So we still don't know.
Right. That's exactly right. But, I mean, I don't know who'd be. I mean, Berger's good. I like Berger, and I ain't got nothing against Sam Page either. I mean, I ain't got nothing against that man. He never done nothing to me.
Well, no, he's a good man. They're both good men.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And they don't just like Sheriff Page. I mean, Sam Page. Sam Page. He's got a job to do. So far he's been a good sheriff.
Well, I think people are pretty happy in Rockingham County with Sam Page. He's probably the most popular man in the county.
I mean, yeah, he is. But may the best man win. Only thing I can say about that. And I'll get off the phone and let somebody else call in.
Well, thanks, Early Bird. I appreciate your call.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Early Bird has the 22 for Phoenix. We've got everything kind of got disrupted for election week, and that's why I don't have as many in the book as I would normally have at this time, but I think there are some in email that have recently arrived. So looks over there. Mr. Leaksville, hang on. Mr. Leaksville takes a 2311 come. I'm going to pick William Byron, the 24. I'll read Mr. Leaksville's mail here in a minute after I write this down and answer this call. Well, I'm sorry, I was too late. Caller, let's do this one. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Well, good evening, Mr. Ken.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks, Mark, for letting me know about the Masked Singer tonight.
He's very reliable on that score.
Well, yes, he's good. Well, I just want to say, couldn't talk to my honey tonight because we had internet trouble.
Internet trouble. I'm sorry. Sometimes we have internet trouble here.
Well, I don't like it, so I'm going to find out why, and I'm going to have a talk with that person.
Mm-hmm. Who is your, if I may ask, who is your internet provider?
Comcast.
Okay, and do you have the direct line to the CEO of Comcast?
I wish I did. I would be calling him and chewing him out.
Okay, well, you're going to have to probably start then at a somewhat lower level than the CEO and work your way up. Probably shouldn't take too long.
Well, my honey told me to behave myself. Don't cause trouble. Don't make waves.
I don't cause trouble. Does she think that you, after she tells you that, does she believe that you then do not cause any trouble?
I told her I'm a gentleman.
Is that right? Well, you know, it's easy to hear this. It's kind of easy to tell somebody that if you're on opposite sides of the earth, which
Yeah.
you and she are. What are you going to do, though, when you're there with her? How are you going to convince her that you're a gentleman?
I will not show my attitude. I will be a gentleman to everybody. I'll be nice to everybody. That means in other words, I'm just going to have to bury a few problems before I leave.
Well, that certainly sounds gentlemanly to me.
Oh, yeah. Nothing personal to a certain one who uses a disguised voice box.
Are you referring? Are you referring?
Nope,
to,
I did. We did. So we're not going to say his name now.
No, we won't say. No, I don't want to be. I don't want to say his name, so that's fine with me. But yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but I'm gonna let him slide about what he says about me or whatever. But I'm going to be nice about it, and I'm just going to let him stew in his own stew.
All right. Wouldn't it be funny though? Imagine what if you get to the Philippines and you meet her brother, your future brother-in-law, and he turns out to be Pretty Man. Wouldn't that be a turn of events?
Then I'm going to take him then I'm going to take him fishing.
All right. Well, I can tell you he's not. Pretty Man does not live in the Philippines.
Oh, Ken, I got some bad news for you.
Oh, no, bad news. What is it?
You remember Richard Brooks, right?
Yes.
He passed away here about a
Oh.
month ago, I was told.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, a friend of his has told me in Walmart while I was shopping, he said, as far as he knows, nobody's claimed his body yet.
Oh, gosh, that's awful. Hmm.
Yes. I wonder why I hadn't heard from him. And so I didn't try to call him, but I thought he always calls me probably once a week, and I always check for it. But he won't be suffering anymore. He's in a better place.
Yes, yes, he is. I know if there may be some folks watching right now who remember Richard Brooks. He used to be a regular on Monday Night Live back in the day on Monday Night Live.
Yep.
Richard was one of our regular callers.
Yes, sir, he was. But I did good with getting some coffee coupons.
Say again?
Coffee coupons
Why don't
from
I?
Sheets.
Oh, yeah. We used to give away Sheets coupons for Tractor Crap. What?
Yeah, for get free coffee at Sheets. I
That's
did
right.
pretty good.
Yeah, you did pretty well. You've probably used all those up by now, I guess.
Oh, I've been using them up, and I'll tell you something, Ken. I appreciated Monday Night Live. I loved it. I miss it right now, and
Yeah, I
all
do
that.
too. I do too.
Well, I miss Mark too. He was a nice person. Meeting him and you in person several times. I hope you enjoyed your chicken.
Oh yeah, I did. And thanks for calling.
And bye, sir.
Good night. Phone line is open at that number. You can email us at keneckleslive@gmail.com. And let's get back to these emails. Now, Mr. Leaksville has the 12. Mr. Leaksville says, I'm going to, no. Mr. Leaksville has the 24. He says, I'm going to pick Byron this weekend. I'm going to stick with the Chevy teams, but it looks like if we want to pick a winner, we have to pick a 2311 car. If that's the case, I'll never pick a winner. Mr. Leaksville obviously resolute on that point. This is Jack. Put me down for the 12. Okay, Jack. has the 12, not Dave. Ryan Blaney for Phoenix. Mr. Draper, give me the 5. He's overdue. He is. About time for the 5 to make a strong showing. Thanks, Mr. Draper. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, it's Ralph.
Hey, Ralph.
Let me pick for this week.
All right. Ralph is taking number 20, Christopher Bell for Phoenix.
Right.
It's in the book.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ralph. Thanks for calling.
You man.
So now we have, well, we got a pretty good list now. I just wrote Christopher Bell's name instead of Ralph's name. I better correct that. Christopher Bell so far is not participating in our race pool. So Ralph the 20, Mr. Draper takes the 5, Jack takes the 12, and Mr. Leaksville takes the 24. Early Bird the 22, Mr. Pelham 23, Mark the 12, Wild Turkey 101 the 5, Nature Boy has the 5, Charles has a 45, and Leon has the 11. So that's what we have to this point, and there may have been another email arriving here. And there is Citizen D. I sent in the number 22 last night, but I didn't see you on. Who do you think wins after all the votes are counted? Yeah, Citizen D, I got your email, and I have it over on my pending list, so I did see it, and I did have it. Who do I think wins after all the votes are counted? Good grief. I don't have an answer for that. I don't actually have a straight answer for that. I've got a crooked, sort of convoluted answer for that, and it is this. I don't even have a convoluted answer for that. It'll depend, and this isn't an answer, it's the best I can do. It'll depend on, they've got, I don't know how many provisional ballots were held up yesterday, but I would like to know, and there may be a way to find out, I would like to know if the provisional ballots were mostly from Rockingham County or mostly from Guilford County, or if they were split right down the middle. I don't know. And I'm going to see if I can get that information. If most of the provisional ballots are from Rockingham County, it would stand to reason that they would be more votes for Sam Page, since he was so strong in Rockingham County. Just the opposite, if they're mostly from Guilford County, Phil Berger extremely strong in Guilford County, so that would be in his favor. And again, since I don't know the answer to either of those questions, I'm not really giving you an answer to your question. A 2-vote margin, with provisional ballots still to be counted, with overseas ballots still to be counted, and I don't know exactly how many of those there are either. So I would not even attempt to say who's going to come out on top. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Ken.
Yes.
I'm gonna give my man a second, third chance.
Who's that?
And try the number 12 again.
Number 12.
Last times I had him, he ran good till he got to the end and he hit the wall.
You know, they all run good till they drive into the wall, don't they?
That's the truth, Ken. That's the truth. So he only got 2 strikes, so I'm gonna give him one more and give me the number 12.
Liberal has the 12 for Phoenix. It's in the book.
All right. Now, Ken, I listened to, comments about the team acquiring a nuke and everything, but we was told the nuke capabilities and all was abbreviated.
Yeah.
Now, it's several countries over there. Now, Russia has a nuke, and you can't get to be worse actor than Putin. And then you got North Korea, and you got China. So we can't eliminate and erase countries that have nukes and have treated, invaded other countries and all. Cause if it did, Russia be on the top of the list. And we invite Russia to the White House, roll out the red carpet and everything.
But
So,
aren't they?
I
guess I would say that Russia's kind of in a different category from Iran on a couple of levels. One, we cannot just go invade Russia and take away their nuclear weapons, because if we did, they'd use their nuclear, and they have several thousand that they would use on us if we did that. So what I'm saying is it's beyond our capability to eliminate Russia's nuclear weapons, short of a nuclear war, and I don't think we want to do it that way.
We just gonna pick on the weaker countries. Is that correct? And North Korea, they brag about their nukes and everything with the parades and all of that stuff. And we just gonna pick on the weaker countries. But look, you can tell me if I'm right or not. I heard that we have fired some missiles over in Africa. Is that correct?
Fired missiles in Africa. I don't know about that.
Yeah, check on that and let me know Monday. But it's from a pretty good source down in I think it was the southern tips of Africa.
Okay.
And those people over there was complaining about the gangs over there and those road military people attacking the farmers and everything.
Oh, you're talking about South Africa.
Yeah, in South Africa.
Okay.
So, but our farmers over here are suffering because of the high prices.
Well, that's true, but we've designated, I believe, $12 billion in relief money to be given to our farmers.
Did you hear one of them comment on that?
Did I hear one of them comment? I don't know. I didn't.
Comment. One of they said, when we do 90 and 100 billions, that's gross now in crops and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He said that's kind of a drop in the bucket for all the farmers, involved. Yeah, involved and all. So I think, and I'm with you 100%. If a decision of a war, and now everybody have just about conceded this is a war going on over there now.
Sure.
But when a decision like that is made, Congress should be involved. No one person should have that authority to take a whole country at war. So that's my feeling on it, and it's easy to say if you don't have to, it don't affect you. But if we go to buy groceries and stuff, we had one shining light, and that was our gas. And I gave him credit. He was holding gas prices down and all. But now that's going to be taken away, plus the insurance, plus the groceries. So I don't see why we're better off today than we were when he took office. And thank you for your time, Ken.
Thanks for calling. Phone line is open. There's a number. You can call us at that number. You can email us at Ken Eccles Live. I do know what the email address is, and I will say it eventually. KenEcclesLive@gmail.com is what that is. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Lord gracious, Ken, everybody knows if we didn't do what we've done that they were going to strike Israel, they were going to strike us. Everybody knows that, except people who don't, I guess. But listen here, say yes, the U.S. military has fired missiles into Africa with recent significant strikes occurring in late 25. On Christmas Day 25, U.S. warship in the Gulf of Guinea fired over a dozen Tomahawk cruise missiles at Islamic State ISIS targets in northwest Nigeria.
Okay.
Additionally, the U.S. has continued and continues targeted strikes against al-Shabaab in Somalia. So
Okay.
we're continuing to take out the trash.
All right.
You know, that's all it amounts to. I don't know where to come up. We fired, recently because, that was a little while back, December 25. But anyway, it don't matter. People, they think what they believe what they hear, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, what'd you think about that race last Sunday?
We're talking about the race and not the election now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the race last Sunday, I give Reddick a lot of credit because he held off the guy everybody fears most on road course and held him off fairly easily.
You know, when second place, I see second place coming up on first place like that.
Yeah.
I look at that like that second place driver is doing harder than the first place driver because he's trying to catch him.
Right. He is.
I know the first place driver's trying to stay away or keep away, but he's the first one apt to go into a slide because he's trying to stay away. The other guy's trying to catch up.
Yeah,
But
plus the first place driver can run his preferred line. Every turn, every corner, he can run his preferred line. The second place driver's got to move around to try to pass. So the first place driver also always has that one advantage.
yeah. But I saw that second place coming up on him toward the end, didn't you?
Yeah, and I figured he'd just come up there and pass him like he always does.
But it didn't happen. He held him off. That's pretty good. Made history and all kind of stuff. That was really cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed seeing. I mean, I'm not especially a fan of Tyler Reddick. I have nothing against him, but I was happy to see him do that. It was good to see.
Yeah, but you mentioned before when they won the first race, you said you guessed NASCAR something about they didn't have anything against them or something like that because they won. Do you remember that?
I say so much stuff.
I know. Let me try to. But what you said sounded okay. But then now they've won 3 in a row after they sued NASCAR and won.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're doing that to get them in the scene of the winners group.
I know where you're going here, and you're not the first person I've heard say that. I'm going to say that the two were not connected, but there are people who think they might be, and somehow we lost Mr. Draper's gone. Hello, you're on the air.
Ken, can you please explain the provisional vote?
Yes, I will explain a provisional vote.
Okay,
First of all,
I don't understand it.
all right. Here's what happens. If you go to vote and there is something that you don't provide, maybe you don't have the required photo ID. That's a current example, so we'll take that. You don't have photo ID, the one that's required. So you go to vote, and they will tell you, all right, you can fill out a ballot, but it's a provisional ballot, and it will not count until you come back to the polling place and prove to us that you have the ID that you need to vote, or whatever it is that you don't have. You have a limited amount of time to come back and provide it. If you do, your vote will count. If you don't, your ballot will be thrown away. So that's a provisional ballot.
Do you know how many is outstanding?
I don't know. I wish I knew. I haven't heard anybody say how many are outstanding.
Okay, well, thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. Thanks for calling. Mr. Draper, if you're, I didn't hang up on you, Mr. Draper. It may have sounded like I hung up on you, but I didn't. The phone just went dead, and I don't know why. I don't know if the forces of evil, or maybe, I don't know if NASCAR has the ability to kill your phone at any moment, because we're about to talk about NASCAR. I don't know who did it, but I didn't do it. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good evening to you, Ken.
Good evening.
For what it's worth, have you noticed that there is one Middle Eastern country that he's talking about?
Well, okay. I'm going to have to guess. Nobody's talking about Jordan very much.
Well, okay.
Is that the one?
No, not exactly. I'm sorry. That was too large a question, too vague a question. Have you noticed, by the way, that no one has talked about, no one has attacked in any form from either side Pakistan?
They have not been mentioned lately, right?
Correct. Now, you ask yourself, why has no one mentioned Pakistan in any form?
You know, I haven't asked myself that question. I take it that you have.
I have indeed. For your consideration, as a wise man once said, for your consideration, Pakistan has nukes.
Sure. Had them for a long time.
Pakistan has nukes.
They do,
They
yes.
are a eastern country who has a nuke, and they have a nuke. Everybody knows they have it, so everybody leaves them alone.
Yeah, for the most part, people leave Pakistan alone. I agree with that.
Why do people leave Israel alone, except for their direct neighbors?
Well, and you know, there are people who don't leave Israel alone, but the people who do leave them alone probably don't want to catch a nuke.
Correct. At the end of the day, the nuclear weapon for Pakistan is not an offensive weapon, it's a defensive weapon, correct?
Well, they've never used it as an offensive weapon, and it works real well as a defensive weapon. You don't even have to use it for it to be a defensive weapon.
So at the end of the day, why is it wrong for any country to not want to be able to have a defensive weapon to protect themselves that pretty much guarantees everybody else leaves them alone?
Okay, well, yeah, I see your point, and I understand. I definitely see the advantage of a country having nuclear capability when it comes to avoiding being attacked by another country that doesn't have nuclear capability. And I don't think there's any question about that. But in the case of Iran, Iran is a known sponsor. I'm not arguing with it. I'm just, this is what sets the state. Iran is a known sponsor of terrorism, a known provoker of terrorism. Iran has used its oil money, its resources, pretty much everything it has had in the past. They have at one time or another used it to promote terrorism. The question is, if they had a nuclear weapon, would they use that in a terroristic way? Would you trust them?
Well, let me ask you, I'll reply with a question.
Okay.
How did Ayatollah Khomeini come to power?
In an Islamic revolution after 24 years of the Shah of Iran, brought to them by the United States. They finally found the wherewithal to overthrow the Shah, and they did. And the people who took over turned it into an Islamic state.
Who was the actual agency responsible the United States for the overthrowing of the Shah of Iran?
That would be the CIA.
All right. We going to split hairs now?
I explain.
Well, is this not a case of the pot calling the kettle black?
Well, if what you're saying is, did we, the United States, overthrow Iran's democratically elected government in 1954 and replace it with one of the greatest mass murderers of all time, that being the Shah of Iran? Yeah, we did that.
So, at the end of the day, how dare we take the position we choose to take today?
How dare anybody do anything? I mean, I don't know how to answer that. If we're claiming, if we were to claim that our hands are clean, that in our history we've always done the right thing by everyone, and we have always stood up for all people everywhere and every nation to have a benevolent democratic government, if we claim that we have always done that, then we're not being honest, because we haven't always done that. History is history. I mean, what other answer can we give to that?
Touche. It leaves me with this final thought for you, Ken, and you've heard me say this before. I think it's an outrageous thing to recite the Pledge of Allegiance these days when the final phrase is, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Ken. Have a good weekend.
Well, thank you for calling. And with that, I really will, in the time remaining, give you the complete standings in our race pool, because I haven't gotten that done all week. So here they are. Number one, Early Bird and Mark tied with 104 points. Charles in third place with 100. Then Nature Boy has 96, Mr. Leaksville 94, Mr. NASCAR 88, Lady in Black 87, The Liberal 86. Captain Midnight has 79 points, and he's 10th place. Then Citizen D with 78, The Avenger 77, Ralph 73, Mr. Pelham 72. You know, this thing's pretty close so far. Mr. Draper has 66, Wild Turkey 101, 61, Jack 43, Leon 43, and the one and only Pretty Man, where, at least in my estimation, he belongs, is in last place with 40 points. And I can say that without fear, because it's too late now for Pretty Man to call and bother me about it. Here are the picks that we have so far. Leon has the 11 for Phoenix. Charles has the 45. Nature Boy has the 5. Wild Turkey 101 has the 5. Mark has the 12. Mr. Pelham the 23. Early Bird has the 22. Mr. Leaksville has the 24. Jack has the 12. Mr. Draper the 5. Ralph the 20. Citizen D the 22. And Liberal has the 12. There are a few more that will come in email over the next day or two. And this week I will. I will this week, because I don't really have much else to do the next 2 days for a change. I will email you the picks as soon as I have them all. To everybody who participates by email, I'll send you an email list of those picks. I will. And there was one last email here who asked me if I would explain the process to get from the election yesterday to a recount. Here's what happens, and we've talked about this a little bit already. The first thing, the County Board of Elections has to canvass the vote. They have to compare the totals reported by the precincts with what's on the precinct books and all that, and make sure that all that is on the up and up, and it almost always is. They will count provisional ballots, and we talked a little bit about provisional ballots already. I don't know exactly how many. I don't know which county they came from. Both those would be important, but they will count the provisional ballots, the ones that they can count, the ones in which the voters provide whatever information was missing when they voted, and they'll count the ones that have been set right, and they'll throw out the ones that haven't been set right. And they will count the ballots from overseas that had not arrived by Election Day. Once they've done all that, Then we'll see where things stand. Could be still be a 2-point margin one way or another. It may be a bigger margin, maybe a smaller margin. But whatever it is, once they do all that, then the candidate who is trailing will have 2 business days to ask for a recount. If the margin is still within 1%, and I will be a very surprised guy if it's not still within 1%. So they'll request a recount. There will then be another machine. They'll run the machine count again and see what that says. Then the candidate who is still behind can ask for a hand-eye count, in which they will randomly select a certain number of precincts, count them by hand. Once they've done that, if they discover discrepancies in those precincts that, if extrapolated to the entire vote, could change the result, then they will do a complete recount again after that. So that's what they're going to do, and we'll see how it turns out. And that's all the time we have for Star Talk this week. We're on the air Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I hope you'll join us next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Ken Eccles.